Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in with me today. Today's game we'll be taking a look at is Doughboy for the Nintendo Famicom. And yes, I mean we. Me and Mr. Steroids are collaborating on this one.
What's up, bitches?
Doughboy was originally a computer game for the Commodore 64 developed by Synapse software programmer Ken Coates. The Famicom version was done by Kenco. You may know them for their NES games such as Deja Vu, Shadowgate, Uninvited, or even the Bugs Bunny games. Now before we get started with this review, let's have Mr. Steroids tell you a little bit about the history of Kenco.
Temco was founded in 1983. They were originally a heavy equipment manufacturer, but the owner of Temco was good friends with Hiroshi Yamauchi over at Nintendo, and since the owner liked video games so much, he decided his company should do the same. They usually just made NES ports of popular computer games such as the Icom Simulations adventure titles, Spy vs. Spy, North and South, and Rescue the Embassy Mission, originally titled Hostages the Embassy Mission. However, the company also developed some original titles of their own such as Space Hunter, Ghost Lion, and even spawned the infamous Crazy Castle series. Their first game was a port of the game Doughboy for the Commodore 64, which of course we'll be looking at today.
I'm not really too sure of the game's storyline since I can't read Japanese 100% and I don't have the manual for the Commodore 64 version, but from what I can understand, the president has been kidnapped and it's your job to rescue him from, well, whoever the bad guys are. Again, I don't have the documentation for the Commodore 64 version, so I wouldn't know.
There are a total of 5 levels in this game. They may not seem like much, but trust me, they'll be 5 of the hardest levels you've ever played. This game is extremely flawed, but it's not too bad of a title considering it's Temco's first ever video game. The main objective of each stage is to find a key and get to the right side of the map. It sounds simple, sure, but as you can probably guess, the enemy soldiers don't want you to take the precedent so easily.
Along the way, you collect a slew of different items and weapons. You got the clippers, which will cut through fences, ladders, which can help you over the walls in Stage 4, the fuse, which will give you some distance between you and the TNT you place. You've also got the mines, which will blow the living fuck out of anyone who steps on them, including yourself, so be careful. The enemies will shoot bullets at you, but fortunately, their bullets can kill each other, which I really like. I mean, for once, an enemy's bullet can hit another fucking enemy! Hey, with enemies like these, who needs Japanese? That was offensive, I apologize. There's also a Game A and Game B mode. As far as I know, Game A is normal difficulty while Game B is expert difficulty. For example, in Game B, a rocket will relentlessly shoot at you.
The controls in this game are simple. The D-pad moves your guy around. Start pauses the game and gives you the round and map you're on, and the amount of lives you have left. You start out with 5, so that means you get 1 for each stage, but you can earn more. It also displays your score, the high score, and how much time you've spent. The select button does the same thing, except it shows you different stats. It shows how much of an item is in your inventory, and there's a next and abort selection. I thought next would take you to the next stage, but all it did was unpause the game for me. Abort quits the game and returns to the title screen. Anyway, back to the controls. Tapping the A button will shoot your gun, which also happens to have infinite ammo, but it will also freeze you in place, which means you're more open to enemy fire. Holding the A button will result in a beep sound, which means you have placed TNT on the ground. Do not let go of the button. Instead, walk left or right and your fuse will decrease. After you're far away enough, release the A button and the TNT will explode. Holding the A button and releasing after the beep will drop a mine. To use the cutter, just hold the D-pad while running up against the fence and rapidly tap B. Holding right and B on the 4th stage deploys your ladder, and walking next to it and tapping B will put it back in your inventory. Well, that about does it for the controls.
Let's talk about the stages in this game. As I said before, there's 5 of them. In Stage 1, it's pretty much an inventory stage. Collect all the items on the map and then get out of there. You're going to need every item on the stage to get by in the next 4 stages, so make sure you don't miss a thing. Stage 2 has you blowing up satellites to make bridges to get to the next island. This stage is so tedious because the paths are so narrow, and you have to be standing in the exact right spot for you to place your TNT or walk safely across the satellites. Otherwise, you just end up blowing yourself up or falling in the water. Come on, he's a fucking US soldier and he can't swim? What the fuck's wrong with this guy? Anyway, just avoid the ship at the end who will shoot a barrage of bullets at you all the while, and you're on to the next stage.
Stage 3 has you blowing up oil drums, in which any of them can contain the key. But first, you must cut through the fence. Just avoid the tanks at both ends of the stage and you're good. Stage 4 is simple. Just avoid the soldiers and use the ladders to make your way over the walls. Make sure you don't forget to pick up the ladders after you've climbed over a wall, because you only get 2. Avoid the tank at the end like the previous stage and you're done. Stage 5 is the hardest. All you get is a spotlight on you and the rest of the stage is pitch black. To find the key, you have to blow up houses scattered along the map, while trying to avoid stepping on mines all the while. Wait a minute, wait a fucking minute. Can't you just walk into the houses and look for the key? Nah, he just blows them up. Makes more sense, right? I mean, what's the point of going inside the buildings when he can just simply blow the everlasting fuck out of them? I have to wonder how the key doesn't break in the explosion. Is it made out of some kind of impervious material? Ah well, it's a video game, and the player's expected not to think about that kind of stuff. Just have fun, I guess. Anyway, instead of using the key to get to the next stage, you use it to break the president out of the prison cell, or whatever it is. Wait a minute, TNT can explode all the other houses except this one? It looks like they're made from the same fucking material! Ah, never mind. Just get the president back to the beginning of the stage while avoiding the mines, and you win the game. Even with an online map, it's still fucking hard. After that, you get an ending cutscene accompanied by the Star-Spangled Banner, and you return to stage 1 and start the next round. Not a great ending, but hey, it's expected for a game from 1985.
The graphics are dull since there's not a whole lot of color, but again, you've got to understand, this is 1985 we're talking here. You can't expect anything Sunsoft. Also, like we said before, this is Kemco's first game, so I think Kiminari Soeda did a great job on the graphics. At least you can tell what's what. Overall, the graphics are good. And since I'm more of a music person than Mr. Steroids, I think I should also cover the audio department.
Hey asshole!
Whatever. The music in this game was ported from the Commodore 64 version, which mostly just consisted of American Army anthems like We're in the Army Now, and When the Saints Go Marching Home. Hiroyuki Masuno took the job of porting the music from the Commodore 64 version to the Famicom. Hiroyuki is known for working on the music for Deja Vu, Shadowgate, and Uninvited, and this was the first game he ever worked on. I really think the music was well done in here, and I actually think the music in this version blows the Commodore 64 version out of the water. To be fair, Hiroyuki was a composer and Ken Coates wasn't, so I understand why the music quality lacks in the Commodore 64 port.
There's not much to say about replay value. Just play the 5 levels over and over and over and over and over again. Overall, Doughboy is a pretty decent title for the Famicom, considering it's Kemco's first game. If me and Nick had to rate this game, we'd give it a 3 out of 5. If you can look past all its flaws, it can be borderline enjoyable, but that's it. The only reason we're giving it an extra point is because we truly believe that Kemco did their best on it.
So that does it for this review. We hope you enjoyed, and we're also proud that we're the first people to ever review this game. Or at least on YouTube. So anyway, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and me and Mr. Steroids would like to wish you a happy and prosperous 2013. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy gaming.
Merry Christmas, bitches.